Hello students, in previous lecture we have already completed the two major treatment processes like primary treatment and secondary treatment processes. So today we are going to discuss the third treatment process. This is tertiary treatment process, which is not important as comparison to primary and secondary treatment process. So let us discuss. This treatment is sometimes called as the final or advanced treatment and consists of removing the organic matter left after secondary treatment, removal of nutrients from sewage, and particularly to kill the pathogenic bacteria which are available in the sewage. So, tertiary treatment also involves the removal of non-biodegradable organic pollutant and a significant percentage of nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus. Sometimes primary and secondary wastewater treatment are not found to be adequate for the wastewater from industry containing specific pollutant. And disinfection is normally carried out by chlorification for safe disposal of treated sewage in water, which is likely to be used at downstream for water supplies. However, for other uses, tertiary treatment is required for further removal of organic matter, suspended solids, nutrients, and total dissolved solids as per the needs. So, this is the last step or final stage of treatment processes. Whenever necessary, we go for this treatment process. Otherwise, the whole treatment process of sewage is completed in second step, that is secondary treatment process. So, secondary and primary treatment process play a vital role in the total treatment process of sewage. Now, this is a 2-mark question. Define detention time or detention period. So, basically this time is the length of time water is retained in a vessel or basin, or it is the time from the time the water enters a settling basin until it flows out the other end. And it is a theoretical time. It is basically given by the ratio of volume of the basin to the volumetric rate of flow through the basin, and it may vary in practice from a portion of an hour to many days. And basins are designed usually for a detention period of 3 to 4 hours basically. So, this is the detention time. Another question, sketch and explain the gully traps. So, before discussing this question, gully traps, first discuss what is traps or why it is necessary. A trap is a depressed or bent sanitary fitting which always remains full of water. It is technically termed to contain the water seal, which is measured as a vertical distance between crown and deep of a trap. And according to use, there are different types of trap. One is the gully trap. So now we discuss the gully trap. Gully traps are basically used to prevent foul odors emitted from the sewer from reaching buildings and apartments. These are provided on wastewater pipes before they are connected to the building sewer through a chamber. And it is usually made up of stoneware, and a cast iron grating is provided at its top. It is fitted inside a masonry chamber. A water seal of about 60 mm to 70 mm is provided in the gully trap. It forms the starting point of horizontal flow of sewage, and it leads the sewage either to the sewer or to the inspection chamber or to the manhole. and it is essential the gully trap is embedded in cement. A well-designed gully trap may serve 2 or 3 connections from the Nunnehy trap. It also is another type of trap which we will discuss in next chapter. Then another question, describe the self-purification process of a river or a stream. So, basically when sewage is discharged into natural waters, its organic matter gets oxidized by the dissolved oxygen contained in water. The oxidation of organic matter converts such matter into simple inoffensive substances, and the deficiency of dissolved oxygen thus created in natural waters is filled up by the absorption of atmospheric oxygen. Thus, the oxygen of water is consumed by the sewage, and at the same time it is replaced by the atmosphere. This phenomena, which occurs in all natural water, is known as the self-purification of natural waters. And it is thus seen that natural waters polluted by sewage are purified in natural course by the phenomena of self-purification. This is the history. That means initially there was no such sewage are produced, but nowadays as the population increases, the quantity of sewage also increases. So obviously we have to dispose this sewage to the nearest water bodies like river, stream or sea. So self-purification is very much important or play a vital role for the disposal of sewage. The self-purification process of stream polluted by sewage can be grouped into 4 zones. First is degradation zone, second active decomposition zone, third recovery zone, number 4 clear water zone. This is a cycle as shown in the figure, self-purification of natural water. So now we will discuss one by one. So first is degradation zone. This zone is situated just near the point of entering sewage into the stream, and the water is turbid with dark in color. The deposition of solid matters takes place in this zone, and the anaerobic decomposition prevail here. So this is the degradation zone. Second one, active decomposition zone. This zone is just after the degradation zone. The water is greyish and darker than the previous zone, and the objectionable odors of hydrogen sulfide and other sulfur compounds prevail here, and some scum may also be seen on the surface in this zone. The number 3, recovery zone. In this zone, the stabilization of organic matters takes place and the BOD of water is reduced. The contents of DO or dissolved oxygen start rising up above 40% of the saturation value, and the bacterial load decreases as the food supply of bacteria diminishes here. So here the water bodies start to recover. The last step or last zone is clear water zone. In this zone, the stream attains normal conditions as were prevailing before sewage was discharged into it. So this is the last step. Before disposing another sewage, the water becomes clear. So depending upon the treatment given to the sewage before it is thrown into natural waters, the quantity of pure natural water required for the process of self-purification will be about 6 to 14 times the volume of such sewage. And the most important thing is, as the higher the degree of purity of wastewater, the lower will be the ratio of sewage to pure natural water and vice versa. And in case of rivers, If self purification is not achieved successfully, then it will result in the pollution of river water, which in turn will contaminate the seas. Thus, the coastal area of seas and oceans will also be polluted. So, in this, the chapter 10 is completed, and in next class we will continue the last chapter. This is chapter 11. So, for this, thank you.